No one imagined ants could be so deadly until the cameras captured their true power. From the blistering heat of Africa to the dense jungle canopies, these tiny hunters prove that size doesn't limit ferocity. African safari ants move like a living tide. Weaver ants construct vast treetop fortresses. And relentless hunter ants overwhelm prey with precision strikes. These are organized killers capable of taking down creatures many times their size. In this video, we'll look at 25 of the deadliest ants that can kill their prey and dominate their world. 25. African driver ant. Few creatures inspire more dread than the African driver ant, also known as the safari ant. Found across the forests and savannas of Central and East Africa, these nomadic hunters march in colossal swarms that can number into the millions. Unlike most ants, they do not build permanent nests. Instead, their colonies pack up and move like armies on campaign, consuming everything, unable to escape their path. Their power lies not in venom, but in overwhelming force and coordination. Insects, reptiles, young birds, and even small mammals, dismantled within seconds by shearing mandibles. The soldier caste, armed with enormous jaws, can latch onto flesh so firmly that they often remain attached even after death. Villagers tell of entire homes and food stores stripped bare, and in extreme cases, livestock forced to flee or perish under the black tide. Yet, driver ants also play a crucial ecological role. Their raids flush out hidden animals for larger predators and return nutrients to the soil. Terrifying, relentless, and vital to their ecosystem, they are a living shadow that devours and renews all at once. 24. Acrobat ant. Imagine an ant that raises its backside high in the air like a bizarre warning flag before it attacks. That's the acrobat ant. This strange gymnastic pose is where it gets its name. And it's not just for show. Once the abdomen is lifted, danger follows. Acrobat ants can spray foul-smelling chemicals and deliver a sting sharp enough to cause burning welts on the skin and intense irritation if they get near the eyes. Found in trees, soil, and even inside homes, these ants don't just stop at stinging intruders. They are also known for chewing through insulation and wiring, sparking real structural problems. What makes them especially scary is their combination of quirky behavior and painful defense, turning an odd display into a serious threat. But as menacing as this acrobatic act may seem, it's only a warm-up compared to the deadly ant species coming up next. 23rd. Big-headed ant. The big-headed ant is a prime example of how something so small can unleash massive destruction. Native to Africa, this invasive species has spread through tropical and subtropical regions, earning a reputation as one of the world's most damaging ants. Their colonies include major workers with enormous heads built for crushing seeds, insects, and rival ants during fierce territorial battles. Wherever they spread, they push out native ants, disrupt pollination, and even reduce populations of lizards, birds, and small mammals by destabilizing the food chain. In farming, their impact is equally severe. They protect pests like aphids and maybugs, which drain crops and spread plant diseases, while the ants feast on the sugary honeydew. Thriving in soil and cracks, they are nearly impossible to remove. Aggressive, adaptable, and overwhelming, the big-headed ant is nature's silent ecological saboteur. 22. Bulldog ant. Picture an ant so bold it doesn't back down even from humans. That's the bulldog ant. A close cousin of the infamous giants that terrorize Australia. These ants are instantly recognizable. Large, aggressive, and equipped with enormous mandibles that can clamp down like pliers. But it's their sting that makes them truly feared. The venom of a bulldog ant doesn't just hurt. It burns like fire, leaving throbbing pain that can last for hours. For individuals with allergies, a single sting can trigger a severe reaction. Unlike many ants that swarm, bulldog ants prefer solo attacks, chasing down intruders with relentless speed and precision. They don't hesitate, they don't retreat, and they don't forget where the threat came from. To encounter one is to face an insect that fights with the confidence of a predator. And yet, compared to what's coming higher on this list, this is only the beginning of Australia's ant nightmare. 21st. Black garden ant. Black garden ants may lack venom, but they prove that danger isn't always delivered through a sting. Common across Europe and Asia, these ants rely on sheer numbers to overwhelm their prey. A single colony can reach up to 40,000 workers. When food is found, they pour into homes in endless black trails, contaminating kitchens, pantries, and surfaces with bacteria gathered from soil and decaying matter. Their impact isn't limited to homes. Farmers and gardeners struggle against their habit of protecting aphids, tiny sap-sucking pests that damage crops while providing the ants with honeydew. This alliance worsens plant loss and spreads disease. Persistent, invasive, and relentless, black garden ants transform from harmless outdoor foragers into destructive forces that thrive in human spaces. 20. Thief ant. The thief ant may be one of the smallest ants in existence, but its impact is far from minor. At only a millimeter long, these pale invaders specialize in infiltrating the nests of larger species, raiding food stores while also stealing and devouring eggs, larvae, and pupae. By targeting the next generation, they can quietly wipe out entire rival colonies from within. Living in massive underground networks, their colonies spread through hidden tunnels that connect directly to the nests they plunder. Unlike fire ants or army ants, their strength isn't in venom or sheer numbers. It's in strategy. They weaken enemies silently, destroying them before the colony even realizes what's happening. In human environments, they add another layer of danger by contaminating food supplies. Small, elusive, and relentless, the thief ant shows that in the world of deadly ants, stealth can be as devastating as force. 19. Maricopa harvester ant. The harvester ant proves that size means nothing when venom is this deadly. Found in the deserts of the American Southwest, this small reddish ant carries one of the most toxic venoms of any insect. Drop for drop, it's considered more lethal than a rattlesnake's. A single sting delivers excruciating pain, but multiple stings can paralyze or kill small animals. For humans, the danger lies in severe allergic reactions and the cumulative effect of repeated stings, especially when colonies swarm to defend their nests. Ironically, these ants are peaceful seed gatherers most of the time, but when threatened, they transform into ruthless warriors. The shocking difference between harmless foragers and venomous enforcers makes the harvester ant one of nature's most underestimated killers. 18. Ghost ant. You'd never expect one of the deadliest ants to be nearly invisible. Yet, that's the ghost ant. With a pale, see-through body, this tiny predator moves unnoticed through soil, plants, and even human spaces. While only a few millim, ghost ants are skilled hunters of small insects and soft-bodied prey, overwhelming them with sheer numbers before stripping them apart. Their danger doesn't stop there. In homes and hospitals, they contaminate food and water, carrying harmful pathogens such as salmonella and staphylococcus. Colonies split into countless satellite nests, making infestations almost impossible to wipe out once established. What they lack in size and venom, they make up for in stealth and persistence. Blending invisibility with both predatory precision and a hidden threat to humans, ghost ants prove that sometimes the most dangerous enemies are the ones you never see coming. 17. Weaver ant. High in the treetops of Asia and Australia, one ant has earned a fearsome reputation for its sheer aggression. The weaver ant. Unlike many species that stay hidden underground, these ants construct massive aerial colonies by stitching leaves together with silk spun from their larvae. The result is a fortress in the canopy. And woe to any intruder that gets too close. Weaver ants don't rely on stingers. Instead, they sink their powerful jaws into flesh and then spray acid into the wound, creating a burning pain that lingers long after the bite. Even more terrifying is their unity. Once one ant attacks, dozens follow in seconds, swarming with unmatched coordination. Farmers in Southeast Asia both fear and respect them. On one hand, they defend crops from pests, but on the other, their aggression makes them a constant hazard. Small but fearless, they rule the canopy. 16. Black crazy ant. The black crazy ant gets its name from the frantic zigzagging movements that make its trails look like a swarm of living static. Native to tropical regions, but now spread worldwide, these ants thrive on chaos. Swarming in huge numbers, they attack small insects, larvae, and weakened arthropods, tearing them apart with dizzying speed. Their unpredictable movements make their raids almost impossible for prey to resist. Their danger doesn't stop in the wild. Once they enter homes, hospitals, or food storage facilities, black crazy ants contaminate supplies and spread harmful bacteria such as E. coli and Salmonella. Colonies don't rely on a single nest, but fragment into countless satellites, making them frustratingly resilient and nearly impossible to eliminate. They may lack venomous stings or massive jaws, but their strength lies in overwhelming numbers and erratic coordination. Both ruthless hunters and unstoppable invaders, black crazy ants embody deadly unpredictability. 15. Jack jumper ant. Australia is home to countless dangerous creatures, but the jack jumper ant stands out as one of the deadliest. Found mainly in Tasmania and southeastern Australia, this ant delivers a sting so venomous it has caused multiple human fatalities, a chilling rarity among ants. Its venom is infamous for triggering severe allergic reactions and life-threatening anaphylaxis, making it far more dangerous than its small size suggests. What makes the jack jumper even more terrifying is its behavior. True to its name, it leaps aggressively at threats, combining lightning-fast movements, crushing jaws, and a venomous sting. The danger is so great that Australia has developed specialized immunotherapy programs to combat allergic reactions in the bushland. Encountering this ant isn't just painful, it can be fatal. 14. Yellow crazy ant. On Christmas Island, the yellow crazy ant turned paradise into a battlefield. Accidentally introduced, these golden invaders multiplied into sprawling super colonies that blanketed the land. Their name comes from their frantic zigzagging movements. But their true power lies in teamwork and chemical warfare. Spraying formic acid while swarming in waves, they overwhelm anything in their path with numbers so great that resistance is futile. The impact was catastrophic. Ground nesting birds lost entire generations of chicks smothered and consumed inside their nests. Even the island's famous red land crabs, millions strong and vital to keeping the forest floor clear, were slaughtered en masse, their shells left in piles after ant assaults. With the crabs gone, the ecosystem collapsed and weeds and invasive plants spread unchecked across what was once a balanced paradise. A tiny predator that toppled an entire island, proving that the deadliest ants don't just kill prey, they can rewrite nature itself. 13. Fire ant. The fire ant may be small, but it's one of the most feared ants on the planet. Its sting is no ordinary attack. Each ant bites down with its jaws and injects venom multiple times, producing a burning pain, often compared to touching fire. Swarms defend their mounds with ruthless speed, delivering dozens of stings within seconds. For some victims, the results are far worse than pain. Severe allergic reactions and even fatal anaphylaxis have made this species infamous worldwide. But fire ants are just as deadly to wildlife as they are to people. Native to South America, but now spread across the US, Australia, and Asia, they wipe out native insects, reptiles, and even small mammals. Colonies can reach hundreds of thousands, overwhelming anything unlucky enough to disturb them. Their massive soil mounds also damage crops and farmland, creating billions of dollars in losses each year. Relentless, venomous, and nearly impossible to eradicate, fire ants are living proof that size means nothing when aggression and numbers are on your side. 12. Saharan silver ant. In the Sahara Desert, most creatures avoid the blistering midday sun, but the Saharan silver ant is active when others retreat. Covered in reflective hairs that give it a silvery sheen, this ant can withstand temperatures that would kill many animals within minutes. Its reflective body helps deflect heat, while its remarkable speed allows it to move quickly across scorching sand in search of food. Although often a scavenger, the Saharan silver ant doesn't rely on leftovers alone. Using sharp mandibles, it will attack weakened insects, taking advantage of conditions that leave other animals vulnerable. By striking fast and retreating underground before the heat becomes unbearable, it has developed an effective balance of survival and predation. Adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Saharan silver ant shows how efficiency, speed, and timing can make even a small insect a capable predator. 11th Leafcutter ant. The leafcutter ant is best known for carrying pieces of leaves back to its underground nest. But behind this farming system lies a colony defended by sheer numbers. Millions of workers live in a single nest. And while they don't rely on venom to subdue prey, their razor-sharp jaws can cut through flesh just as easily as plants. Anything that disturbs their trails or threatens their fungus gardens is swarmed and shredded within moments. What makes them formidable isn't a single ant's power, but overwhelming scale. Entire colonies act as one, and together they can overwhelm small animals, lizards, or invading insects with unstoppable force. Farmers and predators alike quickly learn that facing leafcutters head-on means being outnumbered thousands to one. 10. Bullet ant. In the rainforests of Central and South America lives the bullet ant. Often called the world's most painful insect. Reaching nearly an inch in length, it dwarfs most other ants, and its sting is infamous for the intense burning pain it delivers. Entomologist Justin Schmidt, who created the Sting Pain Index, ranked it at the very top, describing the sensation as worse than wasps, hornets, or even tarantula hawks. The pain can last for hours, leaving victims weak and disoriented. For the Saint May people of Brazil, the bullet ant has cultural importance. In their warrior initiation, young men place their hands into woven gloves filled with live ants, enduring dozens of stings at once to demonstrate endurance and courage. Deadly in its sting and powerful in its symbolism, the bullet ant stands as one of nature's most formidable insects. 9. Green tree ant. High in the canopy of Africa's forests, the green tree ant rules with numbers and ferocity. Their colonies can stretch across multiple trees, with workers linking leaves together into massive nests using silk produced by their larvae. From afar, the nests look peaceful green bundles tucked in the branches, but disturb them and you unleash a coordinated storm of attackers. These ants swarm in unison, clamping onto skin with their powerful jaws and delivering burning bites that can break through tender flesh. Unlike many ants, they don't rely on venom stingers. Their sheer biting force and sheer numbers do the damage. What makes them especially feared is their strategy. Green tree ants operate like an army, overwhelming intruders with synchronized aggression. Farmers in Africa dread their raids as they can strip fruit trees bare and make orchards nearly impossible to harvest. Yet, in a fascinating twist, some communities even use these ants for biological pest control, harnessing their aggression to drive away other crop-destroying insects. Whether seen as allies or tormentors, green tree ants prove that raw cooperation can be just as deadly as venom. 8. European redwood ant. The redwood ant, sometimes called the southern wood ant or horse ant, is one of the most aggressive species in Europe's forests. Living in colonies that can number more than 100,000 workers, they dominate their territories with towering mound nests that are almost impossible to miss. What makes them so effective is teamwork combined with chemical weaponry. When threatened or on the hunt, they use their strong mandibles to pin down prey and then unleash formic acid, which they can spray with remarkable accuracy. For small insects and even earthworms, this coordinated assault is lethal. Unlike many ants that focus on scavenging, redwood ants actively hunt, pulling food from both the forest floor and trees. Their compound eyes paired with sensitive antennae allow them to detect and respond to movement quickly. In the ecosystem, they function as apex insect predators, shaping entire communities of invertebrates around them. Yet, these fierce hunters are now under threat themselves, with habitat loss and climate change causing widespread declines. Even so, in the forests where they remain strong, few creatures can withstand their relentless attacks. 7. Red harvester ant. Few people expect a small desert ant to rival one of North America's deadliest snakes. Yet the red harvester ant carries venom so potent that drop for drop, it is more toxic than rattlesnake venom. Found across the arid landscapes of the American Southwest, these ants may look harmless as they collect seeds and grains. But their sting is anything but ordinary. Unlike the quick burn of a fire ant, a harvester ant stinging, searing pain that can cause swelling, dizziness, and in rare cases, dangerous allergic reactions. What makes them even more unnerving is their willingness to defend their nest to the last ant. Colonies can contain thousands of workers, each capable of stinging multiple times if provoked. Scientists note that while harvester ants don't attack unprovoked, disturbing their mound triggers a swift and coordinated defense. For predators and sometimes unlucky humans, this means facing an army armed with some of the most chemically powerful venom in the insect world. A chilling reminder that size isn't everything when it comes to danger. 6th, Asian needle ant. The Asian needle ant may look unassuming, but its sting has earned it a notorious reputation. Native to Asia, it has spread across the southeastern United States, where its venom poses a serious medical concern. Victims report sharp burning pain and insensitive individuals. Stings can trigger severe allergic reactions and even life-threatening anaphylaxis. Unlike many invasive ants, its threat isn't just ecological. It directly endangers human health. What makes this species even more unsettling is its adaptability. The Asian needle ant thrives in both forests and urban environments, often out-competing even the aggressive fire ant. Once established, colonies are difficult to control, making eradication nearly impossible. With its growing range and potent sting, this tiny invader proves that danger often comes in the smallest package. 5. Trapjaw ant. The trapjaw ant is one of nature's most astonishing predators. Equipped with mandibles that snap shut at over 120 miles per hour, the fastest strike in the animal kingdom, this lightning-fast mechanism allows them to crush prey instantly, leaving rivals no chance for escape. When threatened, these ants can even use their jaws as spring-loaded catapults, launching themselves into the air to evade danger. Their speed and precision make them deadly hunters despite their small size. Beyond their jaws, trapjaw ants deliver a venomous sting that causes sharp, searing pain and can incapacitate small animals. Found in tropical forests across the Americas, they combine aggression, agility, and venom to dominate their environment. These tiny yet formidable ants prove that nature doesn't need size to be terrifying. 4. Polyrhachis ant. At first glance, the polyrhachis ant looks like a creature from science fiction. Its body covered in sharp spines that act as armor against predators. These defenses, combined with a venomous sting, make polyrhachis dives a formidable insect. Their sting delivers sharp, burning pain that can incapacitate small animals and drive larger threats away. But it isn't just their sting that earns them a reputation. These ants are fiercely territorial. Colonies work together in aggressive, coordinated defenses, swarming intruders with relentless precision. Farmers often consider them pests. Yet in their ecosystems, they reign as spiny enforcers, untouchable and fearsome. 3. Dracula ant. The Dracula ant, native to Madagascar, is one of nature's strangest predators. Its claim to fame is a jaw-napping strike that's the fastest known animal movement, closing thousands of times quicker than a human blink. This lightning-fast attack lets the ant immobilize prey almost instantly, making it a living weapon hidden in the forest. Yet, their name comes from something even darker. Instead of killing their young, Dracula ants pierce larvae to drink their hemolymph, a vampiric habit that sustains the colony in harsh conditions. Brutal, efficient, and bizarre, they are evolution's eerie masterpiece of survival. 2. Florida carpenter ant. The Florida carpenter ant may lack venom, but it more than makes up for it with size, strength, and persistence. Equipped with massive jaws, these ants deliver painful bites that can pierce human skin. They don't consume wood like termites, but their nesting habits hollow out timber, creating tunnels that quietly weaken homes. Large colonies spread aggressively, invading kitchens, walls, and attics in search of food, making them a homeowner's nightmare. Even after treatment, they often return, showing remarkable resilience. With their painful bites and destructive nesting behavior, Florida carpenter ants rank among the most troublesome pests in North America. 1. New World army ants. Deep in the soil of Central and South American rainforests lives Chelamyia mex and E. colola, a rarely seen species of army ant. Medium to large in size and brick red in color. They spend most of their lives underground, surfacing only in sudden raiding parties. Their workers are armed with claw-shaped mandibles lined with spine-like teeth, perfect for clinging to prey while delivering venomous stings. Victims often become paralyzed within moments, as observed when an earthworm went rigid almost immediately after being swarmed. Unlike most New World army ants, Chilamex doesn't just kill small vertebrates like lizards or snakes. It consumes them. Researchers have even witnessed colonies feeding on dead snakes, stripping away flesh with ruthless precision. Their sting, described by scientists as painfully similar to that of fire ants, makes handling them a challenge even for experts. Though rarely encountered, Chilamex holds a unique and sinister niche. A subterranean predator capable of taking down creatures far larger than the insects most ants pursue.